Hey everybody, my name is Lauren Plant, and before you know it, 70 of the top football seniors in the state will gather at Blue Devils Stadium on the campus of Lawrence Technological University Saturday, June 24th for the 41st edition of the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association East-West All-Star Game. Players will live on campus at LTU for a couple of days as they prepare to compete in the final high school football game of their life. That's how big it is. And I'm happy to be joined by the All-Star Committee Chairman, Brian Lemons. We are in his house because he is also the head coach of the Brighton Bulldogs. We are inside the Doghouse, the brand new Brighton High School indoor football facility. And we're here to reveal the lineups of both the East and the West squads for the All-Star Game. You excited? Because before you know it, it will be game time.
Yeah, it's coming. It's right around the corner. Coaches have been working hard getting each roster built. I think the excitement is just to find out who's on the team.
Absolutely, it is one of those moments that I think any high school football players who competes, in the weekend, because really is a weekend of activities, is something they will remember for the rest of their life. So last year's game, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen that, you can of course go on the State Champs YouTube page and check it out. It was a defensive battle. Both squads were bringing hammers, throwing them down, but in the fourth quarter, it was East D'Angelo Hall, the Auburn Hills Avondale running back, who scored on a 6-yard touchdown run, and the East held on to win 14-7. Now this was coming off 2021 when the West won by a whopping 48-14. And when we did this video 1 year ago, Brian, you said the East were going to be ready, and they were. Yeah,
they were definitely hungry. The year before, they lost in such a fashion that the group came in like, we got to get this thing back on track. And it was a great event, a great time. Big-time players everywhere. I think our MVP went down to Bowling Green, had a good season. Everything's going well.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just kind of proves that there is a lot of competitiveness when it comes to this particular event, and we're a few years into the event being at Lawrence Tech. How are you enjoying this unique partnership?
Well, for us, it's great because the convenience for all of our fans and spectators to get there. Last year, we had probably the largest spectator crowd we've had at least since I've been in charge of the committee. The environment there at LTU just kind of provides this comfortable feeling. Our fans get in, our cheerleaders are now involved. That presence alone just brings the environment to a new level.
Yeah, it was beautiful weather too. It was great energy. We're just about to reveal the 2023 East-West rosters, but before we do, talk about the experience that these fortunate athletes will go through on campus at LTU, because it really is a bonding experience. It's an opportunity for both coaches and players to really get to know each other before the game.
Yeah, just the process alone, we talk about the players all the time, but we got some really great coaches that are involved in this game. Those guys are from a spread across the state, and they're getting together here in December and January, February, and they're scouting these teams and picking them. They have 250 nominated players that they're going to narrow down to 70 total, and they spend a lot of time working with guys that maybe they play against during the season, and that environment is pretty cool. And once they get it done, these kids get on campus and they really build long lifetime relationships. And I think that's what is unique about this All-Star game. They're not just showing up for the freebies, they're showing up for the brotherhood and the good times, for sure.
Absolutely, and it's a great way for them. It's almost the final high school event of the particular school year for them to get ready for the next level, which will be the college experience. And a lot of them will go on to play college football at various levels. One thing a year ago, and you alluded to it, was that we had cheerleaders at the game, which was a first. Will there be cheer ambassadors back again?
Well, every game has had a cheerleading presence to it, but last year was the first time where we actually, we worked together to build something that is unique for everybody there. And we had an opportunity to get up in the stands with the cheerleaders, doing some fundraiser stuff.
Right.
But we've probably tripled that number of participants this year. So we're looking forward to a bigger group of girls getting down there and sharing the spotlight with us for a weekend.
And that's a great thing that you did mention, is the fundraising part, because you do that on the team level as well.
Yes. So in order for our function to happen, we have to find sponsors and we have to do special things. And, we bring in adrenaline. We work together with them to really drop the cost down to something that's affordable and something that we can really share with the kids.
All right, guys, are you ready to see what players were selected for the 41st annual MHSFCA East-West All-Star Game? Let's go, and let's start with the East. They are now on your screen. Last year's squad were ready to compete, brought the trophy home. This year's squad seems like another solid group.
You know, the guys that you're going to see on the field, most of these guys are already committed to colleges and they're going to go play. There's a handful of them that this is the last bang that they're going to have. And, you know, our coaches are excited. There's been a lot of chatter online as far as who the selections are going to be. And now it's time for them to find out exactly who it is.
And I'll tell you what, it's not unusual. There may be some players who are, you know, for whatever reason, not committed anywhere, get some offers after this game.
Well, there's definitely going to be eyes on it for sure. And with the way that the school's kids are committing, decommitting,
right,
you know, this might be a last-minute chance for someone to pull that spot.
Well, and you get a chance to see yourself against some really good competition. Who will be coaching the East this year? Here they are. Your thoughts on the staff?
So the East staff's going to be coached up by Brian Barnes from Bishop Foley. Does a terrific job, has a really big involvement with our new women's flag football program that's associated with the Detroit Lions. He's got the organizational skills to carry the team. He's put together a pretty good staff too. Like, those guys are coming in from all over the east side of the state, and they're gonna do a great job.
So let's make our way to the West now. Here is the 2023 version of the team that will be donning the red jerseys, or typically that's what they're wearing. One thing is for sure, this is a team that will be bent on revenge and maybe, just maybe, get back to the high-flying version that was back in 21. Your thoughts?
Well, Coach Zeitman a couple years ago, he set the bar, right? So we had to really look through the West Side coaches for the perfect nominee for this spot. So we didn't look much further than our very own all-star equipment manager, Tim Parker from Muskegon Oak Ridge. So he's geared up, he's ready to go. I probably talked to him an hour ago. He was probably still working on the roster, but he's ready to do this.
All right, well, it looks like a great team, and I know we're going to have another great competition. You will also have 14 new members inducted into the Michigan High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame class will be celebrated at the Detroit Marriott on Friday night. That's June 23rd. Talk about the criteria that needs to be considered for nomination for induction into the Hall of Fame, and your thoughts on this group.
Well, you know, it's a special group for sure. You know, our Hall of Fame Association does a really thorough job of going through its nominations. And, you know, there's a list of guys, maybe 200 deep, that are nominated for these spots, and we only take 12, 14 a year. So they spend a lot of time. They close the doors. It's top secret. They have their criteria they put together. We know you have to have 100 wins. You have to have 20 years of service. That just puts you in the running. And then, you know, obviously being successful and being a part of this is a big deal. You know, one of our coaches from Brighton was inducted last year. 32 years as a head freshman football coach. Wow. And it's a big honor for these guys. Some of them might play it down, but it's a big deal for sure. And we love having this game and that association moment of the Hall of Famers, all on the same weekend, all in the same, you know, zip code. We're going to get those guys out on the field during halftime. We're going to name them off, and we're going to give them one last honor before the weekend's over for sure.
Yeah, and it's really terrific because, again, over the course of those few days, it gives an opportunity for the new Hall of Famers and the coaches who are there for the game represent to really just be with each other, hang out, talk football, and whatever else is happening.
You know, we partner up a few different programs. We have our leadership program that's being at the same location. So if you mix in these young coaches, soon-to-be head coaches, with our Hall of Famers, with our all-star coaches, and then getting guys out of the practice field and just watching these guys go at a high level, the knowledge that just falls to the floor you could pick up and be successful with.
Right. Well, the rosters now have been revealed. What happens between now and June 24th?
Well, we have our rosters picked now. There's always going to be a change in the roster. There's always going to be someone that has to drop out because of their commitment to their college game. Something will happen. We have some alternates that are on a short list. We fill in those spots. And really what we're trying to do is just get everybody geared up for the short stay that we have on LTU's campus. So we have a couple practices scheduled. You know, in the past, we've done a lot of Zoom sessions and things like that. Those are unlimited to our coaching staffs. They're allowed 2 in-person practices. You know, and last year, maybe some of those guys didn't even use those. They just used the Zoom calls and things like that to go over. These guys are all-stars, all right? They're coming into practice. They're really just coming in to get used to the heat, getting used to a little bit of bumping around. But I mean, most of these guys get on the field and just do their thing.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all great athletes, so the coaches are just like, all right, what are some fun things that we can do to try to mix it up and take use of the speed and athleticism that will be on the field. Let's talk tickets. How can the fans buy tickets?
Well, we'll post them online, so you can order them online, and then tickets at the door. Parking's great. You know, there is a fee for parking at the campus, but the parking's very close. We have shuttles. Get to the gates, buy your ticket. We don't tear it. You get to keep it as a keepsake for one of your, your son or your grandson, whoever you're coming to watch. But most importantly, everyone just needs to understand this game is built and designed for the kids, right? There's no profit being made for us. The profit's going straight to the kids. We make sure that everything's done right. We feed them well, we dress them good, and we come in for a great weekend.
Absolutely. This is a long-standing tradition that the coaches really have sacrificed a lot to continue this tradition and try and make it work for everyone. And, you know, there were a few years that it was kind of up in the air, but, you know, I think now that, with things more in place, I think that the coaches are all in line that this is an event that we want to continue. It's something that these players cherish, whether they know going in or not, but coming out of it, I think to a man, they'll all say this was awesome and is a great way to end my high school career.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's the relationships that are built, they last a long time. I still communicate with some of the kids that I worked with when I coached in the game, but it's a special environment. And, you know, the hospitality that LTU gives us, you know, the work with state champs and all the groups that sponsor the event, they're the ones that make it special. You know, we get together, we don't have to worry about anything but just kids, and it's awesome.
And we'll be doing some special things on the State Champ Sports Network. We've always got some practice reports. We do some fun videos, things like that. Just kind of things. There's a skills competition, of course, that will take place, and that is always something extremely unique and something you're going to want to check out, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok, because we'll be all over it. So make sure you check it out. It's the weekend, and Saturday, June 24th, is the big game at Lawrence Technological University, the 41st annual East-West All-Star Game put on by the Michigan High School football coaches. State Champs will be streaming it live, so tune in, but if you can, join us, and we'll see you there.
The Football All-Star Game Reveal is brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Better for everybody. Hungry Howies Pizza, famous for flavor. And the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association. For more information on the upcoming 2023 Football All-Star Game, visit MHSFCA.com.